Robin Mills coming with another topic from my book, Mills Macking 101. I knew this guy once, and he thought he knew everything. Let me tell you what the problem was. This is what the problem was. I know a lot of stuff. You know, I'm well traveled. I'm well read. I don't enjoy people who talk about topics all the time. Because to me, that's just a regurgitation of information that they found online or read in a book. And this guy used to love to talk. And I don't have no problem with somebody who loves to talk. My problem comes in when you expect me to listen. You know? And he would be talking about something that so-and-so said, or something that so-and-so wrote. And it would be something that I would know about. And then I would try to contribute to the conversation. Now he's looking all stank-faced because why am I speaking? He's like, Robin, why you interrupt me? First of all, conversation is an exchange of thoughts and ideas between two people back and forth. So we're not having a conversation when you're giving a speech and I'm supposed to listen. Okay? And then you shouldn't expect me to listen if I've already heard this before. I already know. And then if I contribute to something that you're saying, you shouldn't become offended because you think I'm interrupting your speech. You know, I told him that he needed to get him a young, stupid girl. Somebody who had never heard all that shit he was always talking about. I promise you, he was from out of state. And he used to love to talk on the phone. I don't appreciate no brother who's always on the phone unless he's making money and he's conducting business. But if you're always on the phone, to me, that's all feminine to me. I don't even like to talk on the phone. Like, if you really want to talk to me, come see me. But just holding the phone, just flapping at the jibs, rambling, regurgitating information, that's not fun for me. I don't want to participate in that. But I say all that to say that I could listen to him have 3 different conversations with 3 different people. And they'd be a regurgitation of the very first conversation that he had with me. So not only do I have to listen to him, or not only did I have to listen to him spout off all this foolishness, that regurgitating information, now I got to listen to you do it to 3 other people. And those poor 3 other people, they got to listen to. No, I told him he needed to find him a stupid young girl who would hang on to his every word, who didn't know that much, who would think he was brilliant. Because clearly he didn't like the fact that I was intelligent. He didn't like the fact that I had my own thoughts and my own opinions. You know, it makes no sense. Do you know this guy had the nerve to look at me one day? He was talking about something. And he said, well, let me ask you this, Robin. Where you come from with your information? I said, where I come from with my information? What you mean? He says, like, can you cite your source? So I think about it for a minute. I am my source. I think what I think because I think it. He's like, well, don't you think that if you could cite your source, it would be more credible? I said, what do you mean? Because he's like telling me that Carter G. Woodson was his, dude who wrote The Miseducation of Negro, was his mentor. I said, you ain't never meet no Carter G. Woodson. How can he be your mentor? What if that book was the only brilliant thing he ever thought and wrote? What if he was some kind of pervert or whatnot? How you going to give somebody credit for being your mentor that you never met? And how come if I tell you what I think about life and human existence or the evolution of man or whatever, why is it that I need to be able to say the reason why I think this is because I read it in a book? Man, if I could just, I don't feel like it. I got books for days. I've read lots of books. I like to read. You know, but then I'm a thinker too. And I'm philosophical by nature. So my opinion are my own. I can't honestly sit here and quote something somebody said in one of them books. You know, when I come across a philosopher who thinks like I think, I'm always happy because then I can kind of dive off into what they think. But for the most part, you know, I'm a deep thinker and I think what I think because I think it. And I don't think that I'm required to have to quote a source. You know, so I should have known that relationship wasn't going to work out because this guy really did not like the fact that I was smart. He didn't like the way I was received by people. He didn't like the respect that I was given. He didn't like the fact that people wanted me to come and speak at their events. He didn't like any of that. Then I was sitting at work on my music, and I have like a huge capacity for retention. Like, I can recite poetry for hours. I've got poetry in my head, songs in my head, things that are my own original thoughts. He hated it because he had to struggle with it, you know. And he fumbled, and he was talented in his own right. But it's crazy when you're in a relationship with someone who is an artist, and instead of you being able to grow off of one another, there's a level of competition. If you're in a relationship with someone and it feels like it's a competition, it's not going to work, especially if you're better than them. It's not going to work. But never make yourself small so someone can feel big. What do you look like acting like you don't know something? Like, oh, baby, you're so brilliant. What do you look like being in awe at some shit you already know? And as busy as I am, and all the things that I could be doing, what I look like just sitting around listening to somebody regurgitate information that if I really wanted to, I could Google it and read it myself. Like, your only claim to fame is the regurgitation of information. And the crazy thing is, if old Sam over there, or old Jack over there, or old Sue over there, you read the same book, now y'all all sitting down and all y'all fools are topic talkers, and here I'm like, golly, so what, y'all all read the same book? My question is, go deeper. If you can say to me, or recite to me, or regurgitate to me some shit you found online or saw on YouTube, I don't have a problem with that. But if I ask you to go deeper, and you can only go deeper by changing, and now you're regurgitating another person, I'm not impressed by you. You're not intelligent. You can teach a dog tricks. Any old fool can read some shit. That's like studying for a test. You know what I mean? Think what you think because you think it. Come on. Can I recite my source? Robin Mills is the source. What you talking about? I'm my own source. I ain't about to give nobody credit for my thoughts. I ain't gonna think nothing just because somebody else said it. I don't know them people. I'm talking about Carter G. Woodson is your mentor. How? He don't even know you. Come on now. Mills Macking 101. I want to thank you guys for my support. And I'm done for the night. I'm tired. You know, I don't want to be dogging out people. Because in a minute I'll be like, this guy, and I'm going to drop a name and be like, let me tell you what this fool said. Next week I'm going to tell you about some stupid stuff some females said. And that way it can be a nice balance, because I believe in balance, you know. So for the book, you'll be happy to know that it's not necessarily written from it's written from a female's perspective, but I try really hard to do the flip side and say, this is how I think a woman would view it, and this is how I think a man would view it. And if you have any topics that you think should be included in the book, or something else that you think that I should speak on, I am more than open to the idea of considering it, because I'm all about that. All about that. You know, relationships. Mills Macking 101. Breathe and think. Robin Mills out. I'm going to bed now.